Have you ever felt like you're constantly giving, yet never truly getting back? Like you're always available, but it feels like no one truly values you? If you're exhausted from being at everyone's beck and call, constantly seeking approval, it's time to ask yourself, what is it costing you? In this video, we'll dive into the hidden trap of over-availability, the silent energy thief that is draining your life. You're always reachable, always ready to respond, and in return, you're left feeling empty, unappreciated, and stuck in a vicious cycle. But what if the key to breaking free isn't doing more, but doing less? What if you could reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace, all while gaining more respect from others, and, most importantly, from yourself? By the end of this video, you'll understand how your need for constant availability is hurting you and why setting boundaries is the most powerful thing you can do for your emotional health. We'll explore the psychology behind why people only value what's scarce and how you can apply this to your life to regain control over your time and relationships. Stick around, this is a journey to discovering true emotional autonomy and reclaiming your peace. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Human psychology is woven with a deeply ingrained paradox, one that we all experience at some point. We crave what we can't have. It's this very concept that keeps us captivated by the unattainable, pulling us in with a magnetic force that seems to overpower our will. The moment you decide to become someone who isn't always within reach, someone who places peace above approval, something remarkable happens. Your presence becomes magnetic in a way you never anticipated. People start noticing your absence more than they ever did your presence. It's as if you've become a precious rarity, a rare gem whose value grows the moment it's out of sight. And then there's the hard truth. Your need for external validation is your greatest weakness. You might feel uncomfortable with this, but the reality is undeniable. As long as you chase after the fleeting approval of others, you will remain emotionally enslaved. Every glance, every ignored message, every little moment of indifference will feel like an invisible punch, and it will hurt deeply. But the moment you realize that your worth isn't tied to a response or someone else's opinion, a powerful shift occurs within you. You stop chasing after hollow validation, and something stronger, something far more unshakable, takes its place: self-worth. True strength, the kind that no one can take from you, is the ability to be content in your own company, to stand firm in your truth without needing anyone else to validate your existence. It's about embracing solitude, not as something empty, but as a full, rich experience. Silence, rather than feeling like a void, becomes your greatest ally. When you master the art of silence, you master the art of interaction. The ability to be at peace alone is what makes you unstoppable in any company. Now, let this sink in. Overexposure to others wears you down. When you make yourself available to everyone, you start to lose your essence. Being constantly accessible means you're not present for yourself. Every yes you give to someone else is a silent no to yourself. And if you're living a life that's centered around pleasing others, you'll find yourself empty. You'll fade away, becoming a mere shadow of the person you were always meant to be. Freedom begins when you give yourself the grace to pause, to not always have to respond instantly. It starts when you stop seeking permission to take care of your peace. Because the peace you so desperately long for doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from deep self-respect. It's about knowing that your peace is sacred and that you have every right to protect it fiercely. Look at the people you truly admire, those whose presence commands respect. They aren't the ones who are constantly bending over backward to please others. They are the ones who have learned to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to remain true to themselves no matter what. Authenticity, not appeasement, is the root of real respect. And here's the kicker: being selective about who you give your energy to isn't selfish, It's an act of emotional survival. You can't build a fulfilling life if you're surrounded by people who only show up when they need something from you. It's crucial to recognize those who drain your energy. These are the people who appear when they need something, only to vanish once they've taken what they came for. Don't be afraid to shut the door on them. A closed door isn't a rejection. It's a way to create space for those who truly matter. Deep, meaningful connections need room to grow, and you can only give them that room when you stop watering toxic relationships. You are not obligated to keep ties with anyone who exhausts you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for guarding your peace. Self-control, the ability to pause before reacting, to reflect before responding, is one of your most powerful tools. Many people are slaves to their impulses, reacting without thought, responding without care. But not you. You can choose silence when others are yelling. You can remain calm when others are panicking. This kind of self-control is what psychologists call inner sovereignty, the ability to rule over your own emotions and decisions, regardless of external chaos. When you cultivate this inner sovereignty, the world outside loses its power over you. The opinions of others become mere whispers, fading away as you stand firm in your truth. Social pressure? It melts away, like fog, in the warmth of your unshakable determination. Embrace the power of disappearing when you need to. Don't apologize for your absence. Don't feel the need to justify your retreat. Mystery is a powerful ally, and people respect what they can't predict or fully understand. Let them wonder. Let them question. In that uncertainty, real respect is born. True influence isn't about being loud, about seeking constant attention. It's about controlling access to your energy. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to answer every message or attend every event. The more selective you are with your energy, the more powerful your presence becomes. Let silence become your secret language, and let your actions speak louder than any words could ever do. The energy you protect today is the strength you'll need to build your legacy tomorrow. The illusion of social pressure will always be there, fueled by collective fear. Everyone is afraid of being forgotten, left out, or excluded. But the moment you break free from that fear, you become something extraordinary, a magnetic force. People can't help but be drawn to you when you step outside the herd. Deep down, everyone wants that freedom, but very few dare to claim it. It's not about filling every moment of your calendar. It's about filling each moment with purpose, with meaning. Quality always trumps quantity. True respect isn't something you beg for. It's something you cultivate through personal integrity. You are not here to be everyone's emotional crutch, to be a 24-hour support line. You are here to build yourself, to guard your peace like the precious treasure it is. Because at the end of the day, the only approval that truly matters is the approval you give yourself. Walk with that certainty. Your energy is limited. Your time is precious. Your peace is sacred. Protect them like a warrior protecting the last stronghold. For within that protection lies your true freedom. And within that freedom lies your real strength. Now, let me ask you, are you truly willing to pay the price for your peace? Or will you continue to mortgage your soul in exchange for the fleeting approval of a world that will never be satisfied? The choice, as always, lies entirely in your hands. And this is where I want you to lean in with brutal focus, because we're about to go deeper, subtler, but absolutely connected to everything I've already shared. We've discussed boundaries, we've discussed peace, but now we're going to dive into something that most people will never truly understand: the quality of your solitude. I'm not talking about loneliness as some sort of punishment or the result of distancing yourself from others. I'm talking about solitude as a tool, an opportunity for deep personal transformation, a silent laboratory where you have the freedom to shape the best version of yourself, free from the distractions of the world. Most people fear being alone because in that silence, the voices they've been running from come rushing back. They fill their lives with noise, with distractions, with external validation, not because those things are necessary, but because they're terrified of facing the most difficult conversation of all, the one they need to have with themselves. Over-accessibility isn't just about being available to everyone else. It's a distraction, a shield, that keeps you from tuning in to your inner dialogue. You're so tuned into the demands, expectations, and opinions of everyone else that you lose sight of your compass. Here's the brutal irony that few will ever admit to. Only when you dare to be alone do you stop feeling lonely. Because true loneliness is not the absence of others, it's the absence of a connection with yourself. And this is where most people unravel. They don't know who they are without someone else's reflection. They've built their identity on the way others see them, on how they're validated, how they're accepted. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. But when you dare to cut those ties, when you sit with your thoughts and face the quiet truth of who you are, something extraordinary happens. You uncover something vital. If you can't stand your presence, why should anyone else? Look at the people who truly magnetize a room without saying a word. These are the ones who have learned the art of loving themselves in silence. They've transformed solitude from a place of fear into a sanctuary, a refuge where they rebuild, re-energize, and discover their worth. These people don't need validation from the world because they've already validated themselves. They don't fear silence. They embrace it. They understand that it is only in solitude that we can reconnect with the essence of who we are, recalibrate our souls, and find the power to navigate the noise of the world. True strength is not born from constant interaction, but from knowing who you are when no one else is watching, when there's no applause, no approval. It's in those quiet moments that your real character is forged. So, I ask again, are you willing to pay the price for your peace, or will you continue chasing validation from a world that's never going to give you the approval you seek? Solitude isn't your enemy. It's the very key to your liberation. If you learn to love yourself in that space, you'll find that you are more than enough. And from that inner peace, the world will start to respect you in a way you've never experienced before. They don't need external validation because they've already validated themselves. They don't crave constant company because their inner balance is enough to keep them grounded. And now, I'm about to share one of the most powerful keys on this path of self-discovery. When you become strategically inaccessible to others, something incredible happens. You gain full access to yourself. You trade shallow conversations for deep reflection. You trade fleeting validation for genuine self-awareness. The result? You become unshakable. Not because the world suddenly becomes kinder or more understanding, but because you've changed. Your sense of self-worth no longer relies on the opinions or approval of others. You are solid, rooted in your truth. But let me tell you, there's more. So much more. As you walk this path of purposeful solitude and strengthened boundaries, you begin to notice something profound. Your silence starts to act as a natural filter. Without needing to utter a single word, people begin to reveal themselves. Those who were only around for convenience, for what they could take from you, will begin to fade away. And the ones who truly value your essence, who cherish the depth of who you are, will stay. It's brutal in its honesty, almost poetic in its clarity. Your very absence exposes the true intentions of the people around you. Do you understand what that means? It means you stop wasting precious time. You stop giving your energy to relationships that were never meant to nourish you. You no longer pour into situations that were doomed from the start. The shift is subtle, but profound. Now, it's no longer you searching for meaning, searching for validation, searching for connection. It's the world that starts searching for you. Not because you're begging for attention, but because your energy, your presence has become so rare, so genuine, that it begins to draw people in without effort. But here's where the psychology gets deeper. more intricate. Beyond the well-managed solitude and healthy boundaries you've created lies a principle that most people never quite grasp: the anticipation of value. When people no longer have immediate access to you, they start to build an image of your worth in their minds. This image, this perception, begins to grow with time. When they have to wait for you, when they can't simply have you at their beck and call, something remarkable happens. The value of your presence increases. Waiting feeds imagination. Imagination fuels respect. What's scarce becomes desired. What's reserved becomes revered. This isn't just an abstract theory. This is pure, undeniable psychology. Think about anything you deeply crave in life. It's almost always something just out of reach, something that requires patience, time, and effort to attain. And when you finally get it, what do? You treasure it. You value it more than anything else you have. Now, apply this logic to yourself. When you stop being available every single second, when you choose wisely where to show up, when you protect your space and your peace, your value, both in the eyes of others and, most importantly, in your own eyes, rises. You become not just more valuable to others, but more valuable to yourself. You stop measuring your worth by how much you give or how much you're needed. Instead, you let your absence create the space for your presence to be truly appreciated, respected, and cherished. This is the power of creating a life built on your terms. So, remember this: the more you make yourself available to everyone, the less your energy will be valued. But the more you withhold it, the more it will be respected. The more you make space for yourself, the more others will value your time, your attention, and, most importantly, your energy. And now, let's talk about something that most people are far too afraid to confront. It's the art of waiting. Not just making others wait for you, but more importantly, learning to savor the sweet, often overlooked moments of delay. I'm talking about the rewards that take time to unfold, the genuine relationships that require patience to blossom, and the opportunities that only come when you are truly prepared for them. It's all too easy to chase after every shiny thing that sparkles, but here's the truth: when you're too busy pursuing what glitters, you miss out on what truly shines. Patience, my friend, isn't just about enduring, it's about choosing the right moments. It's not some passive virtue. No, it's strength, strategy, and wisdom combined. The best things in life don't fall into the lap of the fastest runner, but into the hands of the one who understands the perfect moment to reach out and grab them. Patience, when paired with selectivity, is pure dynamite. It's not about closing every door that comes your way. It's about carefully choosing which ones to walk through. It's about understanding that not all opportunities are worth your energy, and that you have the power to decide where to direct your precious resources. Believe me when I tell you, this small shift in mindset can completely transform the way you relate to the world. You stop being reactive, living at the mercy of everyone else's demands. Instead, you become proactive, the one who sets the rhythm of your own life. The freedom that comes with this shift is nothing short of exhilarating. You're no longer playing catch-up. You're living on your terms, moving with purpose and clarity. Real emotional autonomy isn't about being an island. It's not about pretending you don't need anyone. No, real emotional independence is about not depending on anyone to define your worth, your happiness, or your sense of security. And believe me, that's one of the most powerful positions you can occupy. We all need human connection. It's essential, it's beautiful, it's life-giving. But the truth is, healthy connections only happen when they are born out of freedom, not out of need. Freedom is the foundation of real connection, and that freedom only comes when you dare to let go of the shallow ties that drain your energy. When you stop clinging to every relationship just because it's there, you'll create space for something much deeper. So, I challenge you to ask yourself something with ruthless honesty. How many of the relationships you have today are only there because you've made yourself available to everyone all the time? How many of those connections would still exist if you stopped replying instantly, if you started prioritizing your time, your space, and your energy? If I'm being brutally honest, the answer may make you uncomfortable. And you know what? That's a good thing. That discomfort is the catalyst for growth, for change. It's the moment when you realize that you don't have to be at everyone's beck and call to be loved or respected. That discomfort is the door that leads to transformation, the key to reclaiming your life and your energy. Choosing not to be available to everyone doesn't make you cold or heartless. Quite the opposite. It makes you aware. It makes you someone who understands that your energy is precious. You are someone who knows that you have limited time and resources, and you refuse to waste them on things that don't matter. And I'm telling you right now, wasting your energy is a luxury you simply cannot afford if you want to live a life that's rich, fulfilling, and truly free. Your energy is finite. Treat it with the reverence it deserves. So here's my challenge to you. Start removing your pieces from the board. Step back from the distractions, from the demands, and let people feel your absence. Let the world notice the space you leave behind when you choose yourself, your peace, and your priorities first. And when you do, something truly magical will happen. You'll begin to realize a powerful truth that has the potential to change everything. Silence isn't emptiness. Silence is full of answers. It's full of clarity, full of power. And when you embrace that truth, when you let it sink into every aspect of your life, every decision, every relationship, every choice, you'll discover something even more profound. You'll discover that you don't have to be everywhere to be unforgettable. You don't have to be constantly available to be respected, to be valued, to be loved. Your absence will speak louder than your presence ever could. In the end, real presence is not measured by quantity, it's measured by quality. It's about the depth of the moments you choose to show up, the authenticity of the energy you bring when you do. So, ask yourself, are you ready to turn your silence into your most powerful weapon? Are you ready to let your absence command the respect and attention that your presence once sought to? Because once you cross that threshold, once you step into your true power, I promise you, you will never look back. And the world will never see you the same way again. But wait, don't walk away just yet. There's one more thing, one monumental shift that can truly help you master this invisible game of life. It's understanding the profound connection between your energy and your perceived identity. This connection is so often overlooked, but it's the very thing that separates those who feel like they're constantly being swept away by the current of life from those who stand at the shore, calm and commanding, controlling the flow of their existence. Every time you mindlessly hand out your energy, you're not just depleting yourself physically. No, you're also dimming how others perceive you. The truth is, what you project isn't solely about the words you speak or the actions you take. It's about the quality of your energy, the force you carry with you, and the direction you allow it to flow. Think about the people you find magnetic, the ones who seem to radiate an aura of confidence and allure. Do they talk endlessly? Are they constantly in the spotlight? No. It's not that they're always visible, it's that when they show up, their energy is undeniable, clear, and powerful. And do you know the secret behind it? They protect that energy like a priceless treasure. They understand that it's non-renewable. They don't waste it on trivialities. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Yet most people live as though their energy is infinite. It isn't. Our energy is not unlimited. It gets squandered on shallow conversations, on worries that never lead anywhere, and on connections that are nothing more than fleeting emotional distractions. And that leads us to a truth that is critical yet rarely discussed: emotional economy. Your energy is currency, and how you spend it will determine the wealth of your emotional life. When you squander it on meaningless exchanges, you'll find yourself emotionally bankrupt. You'll feel depleted, unfulfilled, and drained. And that's when life begins to feel heavy, like an endless weight that you can't lift. Your decisions will feel suffocating. Even the smallest external demands will leave you exhausted, because for years you've been pouring your energy into relationships that offer nothing in return, seeking validation that evaporates as soon as you think you've grasped it. In the modern world, the very systems that promise connection are silently stealing your energy. Social media, constant notifications, the addiction to instant replies, all of it robs you of your life force, leaving you feeling depleted while offering little in return. It's like you've opened a bank account for the world, allowing anyone to withdraw your energy without ever asking for your permission. Every small, careless withdrawal you allow pulls you further away from your center, from your essence. But here's the thing: those who preserve their mystery, who manage their time with intention, seem to carry a magnetic energy. Not because they do more, but because they do less, and they do it with purpose. They don't waste their precious energy on anything that doesn't serve them. They don't chase the hollow approval of others. They don't dissolve into the sea of constant availability. Instead, they hold their energy close, like a secret power that can only be shared with those who truly deserve it. Now, let me introduce an explosive concept: self-exploitation disguised as productivity. This is one of the most insidious illusions we've bought into. We believe that being busy is a sign of progress, that by cramming every minute of our day, we're moving closer to excellence. But in reality, all we're doing is masking our emotional dependence with the costume of productivity. We pile on tasks, fill our schedules, because we can't bear to sit in silence with ourselves. We avoid the discomfort of facing our truths by keeping busy with mindless distractions. Let me be crystal clear. Being busy is not the same as being in motion. You can spend your entire life running in circles, desperately chasing the approval of others, and never move a single inch toward true freedom. Being selective, being intentional, is not just about who you let into your life. It's about the activities you engage in, the thoughts you entertain, and the goals you choose to pursue. Think of this as a silent purge. Start eliminating not just the people who drain you, but also the tasks, distractions, and self-imposed duties that only serve to patch up the emptiness you feel inside. The truth is, your focus is your most valuable asset. And wherever you focus your attention, on people, on projects, on experiences, that's where your life will follow. So choose wisely. And no, this is not about creating a life devoid of stimulation. It's about creating one that's full of meaning. A life filled with relationships that nourish you, with projects that ignite your passion, and with moments that hold immense value, moments that don't need to be shared or validated. It's a life filled with silences that speak louder than 1,000 empty conversations. Now, let's delve into something even deeper: narrative autonomy. This is the key to your freedom. It's the power to step outside the storyline that others have written for you. Every time you say yes to being constantly available, every time you give your time away without hesitation, you're living inside someone else's script. You're playing a supporting role in a story that wasn't meant for you. But here's the power you hold. You can rewrite your narrative. You can choose which scenes to step into, which roles to play, and which ones to leave behind. The truth is, you deserve to be the author of your own life. And that begins with understanding the value of your energy and learning to direct it with intention, purpose, and strength. Once you do that, once you reclaim your energy and your autonomy, you will never be the same again. The world will see you differently, and you will see yourself in a new light, one that shines with power, clarity, and undeniable presence. But when you finally reclaim your time, your space, and your energy, you aren't just getting those things back, you're taking back the pen that writes your own story. And let me tell you, there is no greater power than that. When you gain control over your narrative, external circumstances no longer have a hold on you. The world's expectations lose their grip, and you stop reacting to every demand or opinion that comes your way. Instead, you begin to move on your terms, to the rhythm of your own heart, with purpose, clarity, and direction. Your story is no longer shaped by external validation, by the applause of others, or by the pressure to meet expectations. It becomes an expression of your true self, forged from within, aligned with your core values, and the peace that comes from living in this state of alignment. Well, it's beyond words. It's a peace that transcends anything external. It's the peace of knowing that even when the world around you is in chaos, you stand firm, holding the reins of your life in your own hands. I promise you that peace is priceless. No amount of external recognition, no applause, no praise can ever match it. It is the quiet strength that comes from within. It's the peace that arises from having built a life that doesn't depend on the fluctuations of other people's opinions or the pressures of living up to false urgencies. So, hear me clearly. When you stop being a prisoner to the narratives others impose on you, when you step into the power of writing your own story, you'll realize something profound. The freedom you've long searched for wasn't somewhere out there. It wasn't about chasing validation or recognition. It was always inside you, waiting for you to quiet the noise of the outside world, so you could finally hear your voice. And right here, in this very moment, your true path begins. It doesn't begin when everyone claps for you, when the world follows your every move, or when you're swimming in shallow recognition. No, your path begins when you choose to walk alone. Not because you're lonely or lack companionship, but because you no longer depend on it for your sense of worth or validation. It begins when you make silence your ally, patience your strategy, and discernment your shield. Because in the end, the true revolution doesn't happen out there, in the noise and chaos of the world. No, the real revolution takes place within. It's in that sacred defining moment when you decide to stop being a slave to over-accessibility, to constant demands, and to the expectations of others. It's when you choose to become the absolute master of your time, your energy, your life. And just when you think you've understood it all, the final uncomfortable truth reveals itself. Listen carefully, because this is the piece that pulls everything together. What truly sets apart those who walk through life with sovereignty isn't just their ability to control their time, their energy, and their relationships. No, it's something even more subtle, the art of strategic scarcity. Yes, you read that right. The key to true power and influence is understanding that scarcity makes things valuable. But, and this is crucial, it's not about faking scarcity. It's not about playing games, manipulating your availability, or putting on an act to make people think you're too busy for them. No. It's about becoming so whole, so at peace with yourself, that you naturally choose to reserve your energy for what truly matters. Your time, your presence, shouldn't feel scarce as a performance. It should genuinely be reserved for the things, the people, and the experiences that align with your deepest values. Real scarcity can never be faked. People can feel it. They can sense when your time is truly valuable, when you're not just playing a game of keeping them at arm's length for the sake of it. They can feel when you're living authentically, in alignment with your truth. And that authenticity is magnetic in ways words can't fully explain. You become someone who draws people in, not by force or manipulation, but by the simple power of being real, being genuine, and being aligned with your true self. Because at the end of the day, real influence isn't something you chase. It's not about constantly striving for attention or approval. It's the natural consequence of living with authenticity, and clarity. Let me give you a powerful example. Think of the great thinkers, the quiet leaders, the creators who have changed the world. None of them begged for attention. None of them kept their schedules open for anyone at any time. Their time was precious. Their presence was rare. But when they did show up, when they chose to share their wisdom, their work, or their message, they left a mark that lasted far beyond their years. That's the kind of influence you want. Not the fleeting recognition of those who are constantly chasing the spotlight, but the enduring impact of those who live in alignment with their values, who move through life with intention, and who protect their energy with the utmost care. And when you step into that space, I promise you, the world will never see you the same again. So, what have you learned so far from this journey? What is one powerful lesson that has resonated with you? One truth that you can take with you and put into practice starting today? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one thing you'll be changing, one shift in mindset, one step towards taking control of your time, your energy, and your story. Your insights matter, and by sharing them, you might inspire someone else to make that same change. If you found value in this video, if it sparked something within you, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on this journey together, and the more we connect, the more we grow. Let's keep this conversation going and continue walking this path of true freedom and authenticity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.